She is a dear friend. We've missed her around these parts. Carmen Vitali, best thing you ate this year?
Can I brag on myself and say
Yeah.
that it was over Christmas because I'm gonna brag on my boyfriend who made seafood gumbo for Christmas. That was really, really good.
You made seafood gumbo? Is it like
He
is that
made
like a
as
5 hour siege?
it was like we made the stock together in the morning and it was simmering all day and then threw everything together. It was an all day process, but it was a wonderful, wonderful dish.
Wow, you two spent Christmas together. Things are getting serious.
Serious. Families were
We
there
love
too,
it.
Kay. Oh, it was a
I
lot.
could not be happier for you. That's so amazing to hear. But I do want you to brag on yourself because a little birdie told me that you went the bear, yes chef, no chef, feast of seven fishes. You did not do that. Not
I
on a day
did.
when there's football. Are you kidding?
Yeah, I did that. I don't think I sat down all day, Kim. Okay. I can't even
You're
speak
fine.
anymore. I don't think I sat down all day. Honestly,
Oh
I
my
was going to
God.
bring you pierogies if we were in studio. I swear I had a whole little to-go thing because we made 5 dozen pierogies. And my family's half Polish, half Italian. So we meshed the two, Feast of the Seven Fishes and the Polish Vigilia together for Christmas. So I did clams in linguine sauce. I did scallops. I did like all those pierogies, the charcuterie. It was nuts. But it was so good.
Yeah.
Everything was
You're not
amazing.
by Polish Catholic family, like you're not supposed to eat meat on Vigilia.
Meat.
But I made like a big pot of turkey chili because I was in Wyoming and it was just I needed to do it. And my mom was on FaceTime just like guilting me. Like it was like, oh, I had to lie to her.
Berating you.
I would tell her, I told her it was for the next day, but that was as aggressive as I got. The Feast of Seven Fishes just reminds me of that episode in The Bear. How close were you in that madness to Jamie Lee Curtis's rendition? Did you drive a car into the house afterwards?
No, I didn't. But Kay, if I smoked, I would have been chain smoking the entire time because it was stressful. But it all turned out really well. I had a bunch of cocktails. At one point, I just like sat down on the couch and just chugged the remainder of whatever cocktail I had in my hand at the time.
But
But it was
that
pretty
sounds like your
close.
Polish side talking, which I appreciate. Um,
Absolutely, the Strovia.
Listen, I love you. I hear, I love you, Carm. Carm, let's just keep the food talk going here because in a world where I felt like I got by this Pop-Tart thing, because
Oh my
I
God.
don't love the college ball game. So for me to have to learn about the Pop-Tart thing, we spent time, precious real estate talking about the Pop-Tart thing. And then the Pop-Tart mascot isn't even edible. We got yesterday, but you loved it.
I loved it. Are you kidding? I don't think I've had a Pop-Tart in years, but the first thing I want to do right now is go out and buy a box. This strawberry Pop-Tart who has a literal death wish. Like the existentialism and the nihilism, just like this undertone of like I don't even know. It was incredible the way they pulled
No.
this off, the marketing strategy behind this. I'm so for it. I love
No,
it.
they sold us that it was going to be an edible mascot. So I
I
wanted
know.
You're talking about nihilism, pacifism. You're throwing out Big Lebowski term. I wanted cannibalism. I wanted them to eat, bite into
I
like an
know. I
arm
wanted
or
that
whatever.
too.
That's what it was. We got
I
completely duped.
know.
The second he went into the toaster, I was like, this is an absolute waste of my life and waste of my time. And then but I did say, and I love it. This is doing really well on Twitter. Your half-eaten Pop-Tart mascot and Two-Face, obviously from Batman, Harvey Dent.
It was the
Loved
first thing
it.
I thought of. Are you kidding? With the eye like hanging out? I was like, oh my God, this is Harvey Dent as a Pop Tart. And it's incredible. It's doing some numbers.
It's so gross. Carmen, you might have to hang out with me a long time today because I think I got stood up by Deshaun Jackson again.
Oh no, D-Jax. Him and I worked together in Tampa.
Yeah.
His mom is great.
Great.
She's great.
We love to hear it. Hold on, let me hear it. Are we getting Deshaun? Is he coming on? Oh, maybe we can get Deshaun's mom. I think we have a better chance of getting Deshaun's dentist on, to be quite frank with you. At this point, it's a weird time. Like nobody even knows what day or what time it is right now. Everyone's like, is it Friday? I don't even know. Okay, let's talk about. We have these cut-ins. We're talking about New Year's. The best thing you ate, the player that impressed or surprised you the most. You're covering the NFC North, but you know all 32 in and out. Is there a guy who impressed you the most in 2023?
I'm gonna stick with my division because there's a guy that has just blown my mind every single week. And that is Lions tight end Sam Laporta.
Yeah.
He is close to every single rookie tight end record. He's 6 or 7 behind the rookie record for catches, which is 81. He has 74 right now. This man has 101 targets on the season. He has been just a constant for Jared Goff in his first year. And I talked to actually a good friend of both of ours, Rob Gronkowski, about him I guess it was a month ago now. And Rob was all like, well, he's going to have more catches and yards than me, but he's not going to have more touchdowns than me. Guess what? Sam Laporta is knocking on the door of Rob's rookie touchdown record, which was 10. And Sam has 9. And he still has 2 games to go. So sorry, Rob. I don't know. He might surpass you here.
You think he scores against Dallas? I bet he does.
He could. I mean, I think Dallas is going to try and everything they can to take away Amon-Ra St. Brown as much as possible. And Sam Laporta is so good at creating separation and playing so much bigger than he is. He's only 6'3", which is actually undersized for a tight end. And he just plays so much bigger, and his catch radius is so big, and his route running is so good. I could go on and on about this guy forever, but I do think that he could be a factor against the Cowboys.
We need one elite tight end in the playoffs. Travis Kelce's not doing nothing, so we got. I'm kidding.
Travis still the greatest.
You'll figure it out. Okay, when we look at this, we had RJ Ochoa, who I'm sure you subscribe to and know well, blogging the boys. He was on a lot of confidence in the Cowboys, especially there at home, all of that. Lions, a lot of confidence in this team. They're feeling themselves. They pretended to not care about winning the NFC North, but they absolutely cared. And they're feeling themselves, and they should. What part of this team or what position group is giving you the most confidence they can go into Jerry World and break their 15-game home winning streak?
It's easily their backfield between David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. I wrote a whole article about this on foxsports.com because they are the best running back tandem in the league, and I don't think it's close. These guys have combined for 20 rushing touchdowns this year already, and also they allow Ben Johnson, who is the most creative play caller for this offense, to be multiple in the run scheme. You've got David Montgomery, who's just a bowling ball and can run through tackles. I think he has the 6th most missed or broken tackles of any player in the league right now. Then you also have Jahmyr Gibbs, who they are so good at getting to the outside. He bounces off guys literally. He's got the most yards after contact of any qualified running back in the league, and he's in his first year. It's just an incredibly versatile, well-rounded scheme. And if you allow the Lions to get their run game going and open up the full breadth of their playbook, they're going to be a really tough opponent, even going into Dallas, where the Cowboys have been so good at AT&T Stadium.
You put their defense on the map for me before the season as something to be like, you got a little something to prove. Like, what? We got a couple questions about this Lions defense. Now they've won the division. They're on their way to the playoffs. All of that. Is this defense, which isn't bad, but they're not great either. Can they make noise, or do they need to improve on something? Or I guess, what do I need to know about this defense as they get past the Cowboys and have bigger fish to fry, bigger 7 fishes to fry?
I am still concerned about the Lions defensive backfield because of the fact that they are just not healthy yet. The good news is, though, is that CJ Gardner-Johnson's out for this game, but they are expecting him to come back for the playoffs, and you can kind of get more of a safety rotation into the lineup there. They're still a little thin on the outside. Jerry Jacobs was back practicing fully this week, but Cam Sutton is dealing with an injury and he's questionable for the game. Fully expect him to play, but that is absolutely the weakness of this Lions defense is the pass defense. And that's putting a lot of stress on this defensive front. So if they can get some guys back healthy, and it seems like they're going to, between not only the secondary, but the defensive front between Aleem McNeil and even James Houston, whose window was just opened, they could be getting healthy at the right time to really actually make a playoff push and host a playoff game if they finish out these 2 games strong in front of all these wonderful fans that have just been starved for any sort of success.
Are they just living their best lives? I had a very cute Packers fan who knows the NFC North very well. He's very handsome and he's wonderful. And he said if the Lions get a home playoff, like they could, he thinks that would be a huge difference maker in how everything shakes out in the playoffs. And I agree with that. But more importantly, these fans are hopefully living their best lives.
They are. This is the first Christmas they've gotten to go into in 30 years, knowing they've got a division locked up. And Dan Campbell and that staff don't shy away from the fact that this team means so much to that city and means so much to those fans.
Yeah.
And they can have a true home field advantage. Because let me tell you, Ford Field gets loud. I've been there when it gets loud. It's deafening because the press box is open air and I love it. So these fans deserve it. Dan Campbell knows that they deserve it. Jared Goff, you saw him get emotional after last week because he was there for 3-13. It means a lot to all of these guys. So hosting a playoff game for the Detroit Lions would be huge and really propel them to, I think, a really good run in the postseason.
Is the quietest you've heard Ford Field all year when Jack Harlow was performing?
Yes. They brought out this tarp and I was like, what is that? Is something under that? Also, it was stored on the sideline for the entire game. I was worried guys were going to
I just think it's funny because everyone's let it go. I'm the first person to say like this story's over. Like I have no patience. I mean, a story will be still like everyone's talking about Flacco. I literally go, I don't want to ask Sarah Ellison about Flacco. Flacco's over. Flacco was like I'm over it. But the Jack Harlow thing, like I can't get over it. It is my story of 2023 that did not get enough love.
That's your Roman Empire of 2020.
Yes, my Roman Empire is that man with like the raccoon coming out of his head with the
just behind him for no reason. Why?
And only for like the first song, like he needed like a parent to walk his hand out there, and then he like left because he was doing fine on his own. Like nothing against Jack Harlow or the performance, but the set design.
I was excited for the performance too because I really like Jack Harlow. I'm a big fan of Jack Harlow's, but just like it was just set up with between like by the end zone and it was so far away and it was so. Who designed that set? I need to know. They're on the naughty list.
Funny. It was funny. Yes. But we love you, Jack Harlow. We love you. Okay, let's talk about what do you know about the Vikings? Because Justin Jefferson, I was so grateful to get a bit of his time, and he giggled the whole interview. I love sweet. Justin Jefferson. He's so, and I feel like he's evolving. Like he's taken like Jordan Addison under his wing, so he's sort of like an OG in a weird way, which doesn't make sense to me. So we talked about that a lot
because he's so young.
He was really complimentary of Nick Mullins. Very. He's the guy. It was like I talked to him like 20 minutes after Mullins was named the starter. Now they're making a quarterback switch again. What do I need to know? This is a must-win game.
It is, and they also know that they need to see what they have in Jaren Hall because at best, you got this guy in the 5th round out of BYU, and if you can get a viable backup out of him, that's a real win for Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and his staff. And I think that there's just not a lot of continuity anyway in this offense right now. So why not see what you have with him? I think Justin Jefferson was very complimentary about Nick Mullins because that's the guy that he knows the most next to Kirk Cousins. If you think about it, Jaren Hall, I mean, Justin Jefferson was out for a good chunk of the year. Jaren Hall was operating the scout team offense. He hasn't had a lot of rapport with Justin Jefferson yet. But that being said, Justin Jefferson has been complimentary of Jaren Hall, saying he has something. I think he's a good quarterback. He's got some potential to spark this offense up. And I just think that Justin is such a good team player that he is going to try to elevate whoever is under center. And he has the capability to do that because you saw it with Nick Mullins last week. Nick Mullins was just kind of throwing up the ball and being like, well, F it, JJ down there somewhere, right? Like, that's exactly what Justin Jefferson brings to this offense is you can just throw that ball up there and Justin's going to come down with it more often than not.
That's fine. That said, this is their 4th quarterback change since Kirk Cousins left. And we know Justin Jefferson, to me, I was like, are you just not signing your paperwork for your extension because you're waiting to see what Kirk does? Because that's what you should do. And you basically said as much, and he came out this week and made it, he made his plea. He wants Kirk back. He likes himself a dad energy in that locker room. Do you think that the way the season has gone for the Vikings sort of helps or tilts the scale in favor of Kirk coming back? Or do you think it's let's rebuild even more?
I think it does to a degree, but I also think that the staff at least really wanted Kirk back in the first place. I know that they didn't pick up or they didn't extend him and let him play out the last year of his contract, but Kirk was playing some of his best ball of his career. I mean, he was on pace for his career highs in both yards and touchdowns, 4,953 yards, 38 touchdowns. That's what he would have ended up with had he been able to finish the season. And Kevin O'Connell really, really likes Kirk. Kirk can operate this offense better than most and probably anyone right now. And I think that that's what you're seeing with Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson was Offensive Player of the Year with Kirk throwing him the ball. So of course he wants he wants Kirk Cousins back. And I think that they will eventually re-sign him, and they're going to be able to get him at a discount because he's on the wrong side of 35 coming off an Achilles injury, which is awful to say. But I do think that they wanted him back regardless.
I don't have time to talk about
BK, so it's
35. Coming off Achilles injuries at the quarterback position. I just don't have enough time or patience for that to wrap up 2023. One more question, then we're going to take a break. You're officially the co-host of the show because I want to have fun with you on the other side and just talk shit about New Year's Eve and stuff like that. So let's do that. But I do want to ask you with this matchup, you know, Justin Jefferson's going crazy. Mullins is lobbing it up. Now Jair isn't out there, which is like this is the funniest like little ditty of to wrap up the season. Are there you're so deep. You really go deep. Give me guys to put on my map that you think will impact this game, sort of like the X factors. I know that you like Tucker Kraft.
I do. I love Tucker Kraft for this Green Bay Packers offense, especially with all the injuries that they've been rotating through recently. I mean, the game against the Carolina Panthers basically started and ended with Tucker Kraft. He got a chunk play on that first drive that really got them going. You're going to see it here. Yeah, they're rolling it. So you got 12 personnel. Both tight ends are out there, and they've been pounding the rock with Aaron Jones so far. But then Tucker Kraft comes in and engages Brian Burns off the line, coming out of a three-point stance. Like he's really just in there to block. He then disengages, leaks out, and then 80's over there throwing a pick block for him, and Kraft gets a chunk play out of it. And then he goes and hurdles again, even though against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that didn't work out so well for him, but he won't stop doing it. He's got a little bit of a screw loose, Jordan Love told us this week. So I love Tucker Kraft for this. And then towards the end of the game, you watch it, and he is getting these guys into a chip shot field goal to win the game, essentially. Look at this. I mean, out of this three-point stance again, it's just really a really impressive throw from Love. I mean, in a tight window right on the money, allows Kraft to kind of spin out of this. It's just a stick route, but he runs it really, really crisply. He's sure about his hands, and he's really Love's only option on that play. So he then gets some extra yards and gives Anders Carlson the easiest field goal of his life.
So he's crushing it. We had him yesterday. I think we have him as one of our DFS picks. So for daily fantasy, this kid's somebody you have to have in your lineup, everybody. And Carmen's right. Hamilton's right. We're right. Get him in your lineup in this matchup against the Vikings. For the Vikings, is there somebody that you like that's a little under the radar that needs some love?
Yeah, I have really loved Ivan Pace Jr. He's an undrafted rookie linebacker, and he had to come in for Jordan Hicks, who suffered that really scary kind of clot injury to his leg. But this was the interception against the Raiders. I was in the building for this, sealed the game for the Vikings, and he's up on the line. The Vikings are showing pressure, but then he drops into coverage. And as this play progresses, you can see the coverage shift from what it looks like initially to a post-snap, a different coverage. And Aiden O'Connell doesn't know where to look because this is what Brian Flores does best. The crazy part is, Ivan Pace Jr. was the one calling that because he was wearing the green dot on the field in the absence of Jordan Hicks. And to put that responsibility on a rookie is just incredible to me, much less an undrafted one. So I really like him, and he's really coming strong. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, we're going to stick around. I don't know what you have planned for the next 10 minutes, but you cancel it because you're going to hang out with me, and we're going to do, we're just going to have fun. I don't even know. Let me scour Twitter for something to talk about. Not Pop-Tarts, I'll tell you that much. She'll be back with the great Carmen VITALI, who's giving you all the goods in the NFC North and everywhere. Feast of Seven Fishy. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe right here. Do it now for the latest from Up and Adams.